Hey everybody. Decided to make a quick video on some project I'm working on right now on the Spyder. I haven't posted in a while. Figured I would show what I'm working on. So this is my MR2 Spyder. This is a 2000 and it's about 25 years old. It's 2025. And something I noticed when I was redoing some of my suspension bits, I was looking at the stock steering shaft. So my stock steering shaft was looking okay, but I decided to take it out to inspect it. So the universal joint was fine, but there is this rubber bushing inside here. So there's this collar, and then it's crimped on here, and then this is what it looks like on the inside. So there's no videos out there that show this structure here. So I figured I would show this off. So to get this out, I had to burn the rubber out. And this is what the whole shaft looks like. So when you burn the rubber out, you also end up burning some kind of adhesive that's inside of here. And then there's also a clip that holds the flats of this shaft in there. And then this is just glued in with what I think is probably some kind of JB weld or something. Whenever I heat it up, it just kind of boiled out, whatever that plastic was or glue. So the problem with this shaft I had was that the rubber inside here was just a little too soft for my liking, and it was starting to fail. So I think this is where some of my slop was coming from, because I was able to move it maybe like that much, and it was also able to wiggle around a lot, probably for vibration reduction. But something I'd like to share, so on my red MR2, the first gen, if you come down here, come under here, you'll see the steering shaft right here. So previously, this shaft right here, where that spline goes into that D, that was filled with a urethane epoxy. So that's where some of the slop on these cars can happen. So that originally had a lot of slop in it because the rubber had failed inside that joint there between those two, the shaft and the receiving hole. That had failed. So, and that's where a lot of the vibration reduction happens on this car. But whenever I change it to the urethane, it just handles a lot better with steering feel, and it was really nice. It got rid of a lot of the slop too. So what I was thinking is there's probably the same thing inside these cars, and I don't see anybody really talking about it because these cars are still kind of new. The rubber hasn't completely failed, but I thought I would tear this apart and see what's going on. So yeah, the rubber in here was starting to go bad. So what I'm doing now is I got this newer universal joint, which is in a lot better condition than this one. This one is, it's really loose. It's kind of on its way out. Got almost 200,000 miles on it. And then this one's nice and new and tight. This is just one off Amazon. For fitment purposes, I decided I might as well just buy a cheap one and see if it works before I get all this stuff done. So let me zoom in and show what's going on here. All right, so we're on the input shaft of the steering rack here. And as you can see, I got a spline connection here. This is a 11/16 36 spline connection. And as you can see, it slips over perfectly. And in order to get it tight, you just have to tighten this grub screw. And you have to drill a hole. So I have to drill a hole in here, or a small recess. So right about there, I'm going to drill a small little hole so that the grub screw can fit in. So let me get this lined up. So this just goes like that. And it looks like it will angle perfectly in there. If you, the only thing is if you have it go down too far, this thing doesn't want to rotate as much. So I got to find the sweet spot. I think it's going to be probably somewhere around here for that sweet spot for this rotation of this guy here, because it does end up bottoming out on the shaft itself. I could probably just grind the shaft down if I want a little bit more clearance, but so this is the universal joint I'm going to be using. It's just a generic one. If you want to buy the part from Toyota, it's like $300. So far, I'm in 70 bucks. This part's about 25 bucks. And I got some, it's called 3/4 inch double D, I know, right? Double D shaft. And that's what this output shaft is on this coupler here. So that just goes into this hole. So that's a 3/4 round diameter shaft with flats on the side. And those flats happen to be 0.55 inches, just in case you wanted to know. So what I'm going to end up doing is I got an 8-inch stick of 1045 steel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my lathe and I'm going to mill a shaft similar to this, because where this boot is on here, where the boot connects from the front firewall here to the inside, there's a boot. It has to be exactly 20 millimeters. So this is exactly 20 millimeters. So I'm going to lay the part like this, but then it's going to have a 3/4 DD shaft milled into that. And then I'm gonna lay out a hole for this shaft to go into, and then I'm gonna weld this or pin it into that other shaft, because that's allowed to. You're allowed to pin things. So that what I could also do is I could also pin it and then use some kind of adhesive as well. Part of me kind of wanted to do another D shaft here, so cut it off right here and then pin it, or use a D shaft and then have a flat, but I have no way to mill a flat inside a bore. So I'm probably just going to end up welding it. So I'm going to cut this off right here, make a hole, probably do a heat fit. So I'll make it a little bit smaller on the part, and then I'll cool this down and I'll put it in there, and then it should be a nice fit with temperature, and then I'll just weld it on top of that as well really quickly. So that's how I'm going to do that, and then I'll have this shaft that's 20 millimeters, and I'll probably zinc coat it too, because this is all exposed to the elements. So that's the plan. I don't know if I'll be able to make these for people, but there'll be no vibration reduction, and that's kind of the test I want to do here, is see how bad the vibration is. I don't think it's going to be that bad, because the tires are made out of rubber, and also the rack is floating on rubber as well. And I just don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. It's a 25-year-old sports car. And also, this car has the smallest amount of urethane in it, maybe that much. And this is that really hard urethane. I have some somewhere around here. What do I do with it? I don't think I... All right, so this is the the urethane I used for the red car. This is a very hard urethane adhesive. This worked really well for the red car. No issues over the years. It's $20 on Amazon. You got to make sure you get that one or it will expire in 12 months. You got to get it off Amazon. So back in the garage here. So yeah, other things I'm doing to the Spyder, we got new control arms. I got these Mevotech ones. I think they're Mevotech, and they look pretty good. I've had Mevotech stuff on the red car, and it works well. I just don't know about this bushing down here. It seems very soft compared to the original, so I don't know if it will be as sporty as I want it to be. It actually ends up being a lot softer than the stock one, even though the stock one's destroyed. So I don't know what's the deal with that. So yeah, that's the plan here. If you wanted to get a custom shaft made, you can ask me in the comments. The only thing is you have to send me your old shaft, and it's not that hard for me to do it, but it's just a matter of shipping it and welding it. It's really not that hard. I could probably do it for less than the part buying it off Toyota, which is $300. I could probably do it for less than half. So, and if you want a higher quality joint like a Borgeson, which is made in USA, you can get one of those too. So yeah, this has been an interesting little project, and I feel like as time goes on with these Spyders, things will start to break down. And if you're watching this video, you're in the right place, because I think I figured it out. I'm very close, so just waiting on some more parts. But thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, just subscribe, and I might be posting more stuff on the Spyder. I don't really post that much, but my friends have been telling me I should start posting because I guess I'm doing some interesting things. So, all right, take care.